The National League this year, played hockey in Rangers and Montreal, and coached for years in the Montreal Farm Club in Nova Scotia.
Bob Kilger is the referee. Peter Mahovlich will start the game for the Wings at center ice. And he'll have Foligno on one wing and Errol Thompson on the other. Back along the Detroit defense will be Reed Larson and Barry Long and Rogie Vachon in the nets for Detroit. Bouchard, Dan Bouchard, who usually is in goal for Atlanta, is right there again this evening. Back along the defense, former Chicago and Phil Russell. He's paired with the young man Paul Reinhardt, who's been quite a rookie, and that's Reinhardt, number 23, that bounces the puck into the Detroit zone as the game is underway. Vachon steered it away from Billy McMillan. It's kept in, though, but Bolderev lost it. Mike Foligno knocked it away. Foligno sends it out on the right side. Here's Errol Thompson bringing it over the line, firing a shot that was blocked before it got through by Russell. McMillan starts back. Out on the right side, Paul Woods, who just came on, dropped it back, and that's Reed Larson with it. Now Larson back in the Detroit zone, cleared it ahead. Glenn Hicks drops it off for Woods. Woods took a shot, and again Russell got in front of that. Reinhardt cleared it on the left side for Eric Vail. It bounced back to the Detroit line, and Dennis Polonich back after it. The Wings made a quick player change to their checking line of Polonich, Woods, and Hicks. Now that's Ivan Bolderev. He was checked by Woods, and the loose puck taken away by Polonich. Dennis Polonich over on the right side for Larson. Larson played it ahead to Woods. Now Polonich got over the lines. The Hick was in too fast, and it's offside. So we'll come back out over the Atlanta blue line as you look at Dennis Polonich.
And this is the line that played so well the other night against the Islanders. And they switch around. They put different personnel on it. It's a line that if Bolduc were playing, I think Bolduc would probably be out every once in a while, too. They do all the checking, usually play against the big line on the other team.
Well, McNeil sent out the Unger line with Nilsson and Pronovo, but then when Detroit came out with McCourt, Nedemansky, and LeBratton, a quick change from the Atlanta bench. Bill Clement with Ken Houston and Darcy Rhoda.
No doubt this is their checking line to play against Detroit's big line.
Clement goes in against McCourt. McCourt won the draw. Willie Huber hands it back to Greg Jolly. Now McCourt rolls it along the ice. Willie Huber knocks it down, played it into the Atlanta zone. It goes into the corner with Houston in after it. Now Ken Houston turning out to center ice. Puck knocked away by Nedemansky, picked up again by Houston. He was stopped, knocked down by Willie Huber. Greg Jolly in behind his own goal. Clement took it away, and breaking that up was Huber out in front of the Detroit goal as Nedemansky turns back down the ice. Here's Big Ned moving into the Atlanta zone. Out in front, Peter Mahovlich with a shot that was blocked. Mahovlich had a great chance, but it was Brad Marsh that got in front of the shot. Nedemansky swinging it over on the left side. McCourt came on quickly replacing, or rather Mahovlich did, replacing McCourt. The Wings make the complete line change now as Foligno and Harold Thompson come out. Now Thompson dropped it back for Jolly, played it out to center ice. Taking it there is Bob Murdoch. They hold it to the boards right in front of the Detroit goal.
Bob Murdoch, another acquisition by General Manager Cliff Fletcher. Give them a little muscle back on their defense corps. Bobby Crom is doing what he started on this last road swing, switching his lines. He definitely has a plan that he wants to play the checking line against their big line if he can, and no doubt Al McNeil wants to get his scorers out against a line other than the checking line. So there'll probably be a lot of switching of lines here tonight.
Well, referee Kilger is going to put a little stoppage to it. First one player, then another came off the bench. He sent Foligno back. Now Foligno's back out there. Kilger's saying, no, you got to go play the left side. Hicks was supposed to be out there. Dennis Polonich and Foligno moved to opposite wings. And Mr. Kilger's going to get a little unhappy. Now the puck is dropped, and here's Willie Huber handing it back now to Greg Jolly. Clears it out to center ice. Brad Marsh drives it right back in. Vachon stopped it in behind his own net. Jolly clearing it on the right side. Dennis Polonich was checked before he got out. Puck stays, but here's Willie Huber picking it up. Clearing it ahead to Paul Woods. Over on the left side, Jolly at center ice. Greg Jolly carried over the line. Jolly heading to the corner with it. Marsh chasing him there. Marsh gave him a wrap in along the boards. And it was Darcy Rhoda who turns out with it. Drops it back now for number 20, Bob Murdoch, who brings it out to center ice. Murdoch firing it into the corner. Rhoda went in after it, but Foligno covered up on him, and coming out now is Huber. Willie Huber along the boards on the right side into the Atlanta zone. Dumps it in behind the net. Number 8 going after it, Dave Shan. It's cleared out center ice. Perry Miller and Huber paired along the Detroit defense. Huber ahead to Foligno. Mike's over the line, heading to the corner with it. Tried to play it back to the point, but that was broken up by Bolderev, and here's Eric Vale. Now Vale playing it deep into the Detroit end and going in after it. McMillan. McMillan still controls it. McMillan put it right out in front, and Vale was there, and it bounced off his stick. Now Foligno starts back. 3 of the wings moving out. Puck is dumped deep into the Atlanta zone, going in after it, in behind his own goal. Right now it's Radicalio. Pekka Radicalio. Where's the number 4? Comes back into the Detroit zone. That's Bolderev. Bolderev put it out in front. That shot by Vale knocked down. There's a shot from the line. And Vachon kicked the right skate out and knocked that away. In behind his own goal, Dennis Polonich out on the left side to Hicks. Now Hicks' pass was broken up as it got to center ice. Taken away again. Here's Polonich over the line. Fired a shot way wide. McMillan, number 11. His pass coming out to Vale. Bolderev trailing. The 2 of them over the line. Vale took the shot. Vachon stops that, and John Hamel in behind his own net. This is Polonich moving it out to center ice. Dennis Polonich had to wait for Hicks to come back on side. Now steers it in behind the Atlanta goal. Heading after it, Kent Nilsson. Played to Radicalio in behind the Atlanta net. And he drives it out to the blue line, but Danny LeBratton will take it there. He's got Larson moving in. Larson and Dale McCourt. Here's Larson. He tried to top it to McCourt, but that's taken away by Unger. Gary Unger in behind his own goal. Radicalio again. Pass knocked away by Nedemansky. Came right back to him, and he moves it out center ice. On the left side to Nilsson. Nilsson took the shot, but the play is offside. A pause in the action. No score. We're back in a moment. Not until he calls for it.
Why does only American Motors have a full 5-year, no-rust-through warranty?
Because in all its 1980 cars, AMC starts with galvanized steel in critical areas. Then adds Z-Bart factory rust protection as the cars are being built at no extra cost. AMC with Z-Bart factory rust protection, rust-resistant galvanized steel, and the only 5-year no-rust-through warranty.
American Motors, built for today, built to last for tomorrow.
We have played 4 minutes, 35 seconds of the opening period. There is no score in the game. The Detroit Red Wings, the Atlanta Flames, and here's the Omni in Atlanta. Gary Unger with Pronovo on the right wing and Nilsson on the left side for Atlanta. At center ice, Phil Russell drives it back into the Detroit zone. That's Reed Larson. His pass was knocked away by Pronovo, covering up with Sobchuk. Very long, being bothered by Unger, was knocked away. Here's Unger with it. Gary Unger being checked by Sobchuk, played it into the corner. Nilsson went in after it, hit the side of the Detroit goal with it, and it's cleared now to Perry Miller. Miller took a kick at it, didn't get it out. Miller's up on a wing right now with Billy Hogebaum and Dennis Sobchuk. Now Hogebaum's pass coming out to Miller at center ice. Miller got away from Phil Russell's check. He dropped it there for Sobchuk. Back to Miller, but it hit the back of his skate, and the Flames shoot it back into the Detroit end, and back after it, Hogebaum. Playing it now to Reed Larson. That was long, very long with it in the corner, deep in the Detroit zone, bringing it up now to Perry Miller. Hogebaum moving up as the puck is dumped off to the side of the Atlanta goal. Kent Nilsson lost it for the moment, but Larson couldn't control it, and at center ice, back at his own blue line now, is Dale McCourt. No score. A long pass from Larson. They waved off the icing. Murdoch is back to play it. Swinging it out on the left side for Bill Clement. It's dumped out center ice, and taking it there was Big Willie Huber, who just tipped it back into the Atlanta zone. And the Flames again will move it out with Darcy Rhoda at center ice. This now is Greg Jolly. Jolly of the Red Wings ahead now to Dale McCourt. McCourt tells Kabump, still pass it off to Huber. Danny LeBratton trying to break through. Bouchard came out of the net. LeBratton with a bouncing puck controls it, lays it back for Greg Jolly with a shot, and Bouchard grabs that. Played it off on the side, and it's dumped out center ice by Ken Houston. Now Jolly handing it off to Willie Huber. Huber playing it back into the Atlanta zone, and back after it, Houston. Played 6.5 minutes of the first period with no score. Now Houston, a long pass to Clement. Bill Clement's pass broken up by Nedemansky. Now Danny LeBratton moving back in. LeBratton back along the blue line. He's tried to feed it off to McCord. It goes to the far side. Jolly couldn't hold it in. Houston starts back. Houston, and Jolly came back, took it away from him. Now this is Murdoch. Murdoch's pass bounced over Rhoda's stick. Nedemansky on the right side to Dale McCord. He's got LeBratton coming up with him. The play broken up at the line by Murdoch. Fired back in, away offside. Another pause in the action, and again we're back after this message. First period, no score. Red Wings have had the better scoring chances. Puck slid into the Atlanta zone. That's Marsh and Dennis Polonich battling for it. Paul Woods came out with it. Woods dumping it deeper to Hicks. Hicks was checked. Marsh gets into it. They still scramble off to the side of the goal, and there is a penalty coming up, I believe, to the Atlanta Flames, and the Red Wings are going to have a power play opportunity, the first of the hockey game. We'll be back with the Detroit power play after we pause for this.
The great search for a bigger, better hot dog is over because Peschke has it. Peschke's Great American Hot Dog bursts with flavor. Flavor that actually won an independent taste test by almost 2-to-1. In regular or a new super size that really fills up the bun. So go to your supermarket and say, I won't take anything less than the Great American Hot Dog. Great American.
That's Bob Murdoch. He's off to the penalty box for cross-checking. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. That's the first penalty of this, the first period, the first power play chance for either of the two teams. Puck driven back to the right point. Willie Huber stopped it there. Feeds Mike Foligno. Now Foligno dropped it back toward Willie Huber, but it was knocked away. Huber does pick it up. Now Huber over on the other point to Reed Larson. He drove the shot and he fired it wide. Bill Russell tipped it right back to Larson, but Larson's passing right back to Russell. And the former Chicago defenseman dumps it all the way down the ice. Back after it, Willie Huber. Huber trying to work away from John Pronovo. Pronovo had him pretty well tied up, so now it's Harold Thompson clearing it to Reed Larson. Back it comes to Huber. Wings of the extra man for 1 minute and 20 seconds. This is Larson. Reed Larson moves in with Foligno. Larson fired the shot, and that deflected off Pronovo up into the crowd.
It's been a very, very cautious first 8 minutes, or practically 8 minutes. Both teams more or less feeling one another out. The Wings, while they've only had actually one shot on net, and that was the shot of Greg Jolly, they have carried the play more than Atlanta have, and they could, if this power play would work for them, could bounce out in front here.
Out of town, Buffalo's at Hartford tonight, and at the end of the first period, Hartford leads Buffalo 2-1. Now that's Reed Larson holding it in. Larson's pass, though, knocked away. Pronovo sent it back out center ice. Here's Larson with it again. Larson over the line, played it to the left side. Foligno is breaking in clear on the right. Foligno in behind the goal, right out in front, and slid it right through the goal crease. Here now is Peter Mahovlich. Mahovlich back at his own blue line, trying to work away from Clement. Drops it back now for Larson. Larson played it back to Mahovlich, but Russell knocked that away. Harold Thompson went in after it. Feeds back to Reed Larson. He fired another one, and that's up into the crowd.
And Reed Larson isn't getting it away quite soon enough. Big Peter Mahovlich come around. He probably could have taken the shot himself. He was at the top of the circle with Foligno cutting across out in front of the net. But he elected to put it back to Reed, and Reed's slap shot was deflected up into the crowd.
Now the Wings change the line. They send McCourt back on the 1 point. That's the left side, replacing Larson. Huber stays on the right point, and up front, Peter Mahovlich between Nedemansky and LeBratton. Play is in the Atlanta zone. 48 seconds remaining in the penalty. Mahovlich won the draw. Here's a quick pass to Nedemansky with a shot, and the big save is made, and the play goes up into the crowd. Well, Mahovlich won the face-off, and the Wings had probably their best crack at it in the power play thus far.
Nedemansky, I did a little tape interview with him yesterday at practice, and we're going to have that on between the first and second period. Really, I would think he's the one fellow that the Wings look to that has to lead them and score goals and be the ringleader for this hockey club if they're going to win.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Bouchard. 42 seconds remaining in the penalty to Murdoch of Atlanta. Unger in against Peter Mahovlich. That time Unger won the face-off. Marsh cleared it over on the right side, and it bounced high over the stick of Dale McCourt back into the Detroit zone. Willie Huber heads back after it. Huber's pass coming up now to Peter Mahovlich out in front of Vachon. Here's Mahavlich bringing it out to center ice. Big Peter over the line. Here's Mahavlich carrying it to the side of the net. Put it right to the goal mouth, but Bouchard knocked it away. And it's cleared back down the ice, and just 10 seconds remain in the penalty time. 10 minutes, 45 seconds to go in this, the first period. No score in the hockey game. Willie Huber. Now the penalty to Murdoch is over. He's back on, and the Atlanta Flames are at full strength as the Red Wings go in offside.
And the Wings didn't have a shot on net during that power play, but yet it was an effective power play in a way. They were in deep several times. They tried to cut around and get shots on the net. They were blocked in most cases.
Boys and girls, you can get an official Red Wings puck if you're one of the first 5,000 kids, 14 and under, to come to the game on Saturday, December 8th, when the Wings meet the Vancouver Canucks at 7:30 p.m. Puck Night is sponsored by Tubby's Submarine Shops. Face-off right at center ice. Dennis Sobchuk, Hogabaum, and Perry Miller on the left wing now. That's Barry Long that sends it in behind the Atlanta goal. Bouchard went out of the net and missed it, but taking over Eric Bale. Bale, a quick pass. Bolderev sent it right to Vachon. He played it over into the corner. Barry Long left it there. Hicks was bumped off the puck. And it's Long again, clearing it to the left side with Paul Henderson on for the first time. Paul Henderson was just recalled from the Birmingham Farm Club, the Atlanta farm team. No stranger to Detroit fans or National Hockey League fans. Here's Eric Bale, but coming back to cut him off was Paul Woods, and Woods fell down on top of the puck, so the play stays in the center ice side of the Detroit blue line.
And it's the type of hockey game, Bruce. Practically 10 minutes of the first period played, and there's only been 4 shots. Atlanta have had 2 shots, and Detroit have had 2, so the play has been up through center ice, around wide of the defenseman, and very little pucks getting through the goaltenders at all.
Sobchuk in against Bolderev. Puck stayed right there at the line. This is Barry Long with it. Now Long sent it right to the Atlanta goal. Bouchard cleared it along the boards. Sobchuk chased his man in behind the Atlanta net again. That's Billy Hogabaum. He's bumped right there by defenseman Dave Shan. Bolderev cleared it out on the right side. Henderson was checked there by Perry Miller, and the puck ended up in the crowd off an Atlanta player. And again, we have a pause in the action with no score. We'll be back after we watch this. Foligno. Nilsson fell down, but the Wings failed to take advantage of it as Shan comes back out center ice. Puck driven into the Detroit zone by Gary Unger. Vachon out of the goal, leaving it now for Greg Jolly. Unger checking him. It came back to the line. Fanning on it. On that shot was Rodicalio. It goes off to the side of the Detroit goal. Unger being checked there by Jean Hamel. Foligno gets into it. Mike Foligno trying to dig it away. It came back to the line. Rodicalio with a shot that Vachon stopped. Taken away out in front by Nilsson. Here's Nilsson. And he shot it wide. Nilsson dug it away again, but Foligno intercepts his pass and heads out. Now Mike Foligno of Detroit moves in with Errol Thompson. The pass to Thompson. He tried to hand it back to Jolly, but Nilsson came back to stop that. McMillan back into the Detroit zone. Now Bill McMillan. His pass broken up by Foligno. They lost it. Nilsson fired the shot. Vachon the save. A big chance by Atlanta. Rodicalio let that one go from the line, and Vachon handled it. And a mistake by the Wings in their own zone, and Vachon had to be sharp. That puck bouncing off Bouchard goes into the corner. Rodicalio goes in after it. On the left side to Nilsson. Kent Nilsson bringing it out center ice. Former World Hockey Association player. 39 goals with Winnipeg last year, but he's stopped by Huber right there. Peter Mahavlich tips it off now to Nedomansky. Big net on the left side now to Danny LeBratton. LeBratton ahead too far for Nedomansky. Now Eric Bale dumped it back into the Detroit zone, trying to work around Huber. Huber tipped it away, and it's McCourt that clears it on the left side now for LeBratton. Danny LeBratton trying to get loose, played it a bouncing puck. Dale McCourt couldn't handle that, and with it now is Bale. Paul Reinhart, the rookie, in behind his own goal. Now Reinhart moving out on the left side. Pass it ahead, and it's picked up now by Ken Houston. LeBratton checking him. Here now is Bolderev holding it in. Ivan Bolderev's pass right out in front. The shot by Russell went wide. Puck bouncing again off the glass and up into the crowd.
The game has opened up a little bit, both ends, getting chances at the net.
So the face-off will stay in the circle to the right side of Rogie Vachon. We have played 12 minutes, 34 seconds of period number 1 with no scoring. St. Louis tonight is at Pittsburgh. Dunlop and Sutter have scored for St. Louis, Schutz and McAdam for Pittsburgh, and that's a 2-2 tie. Boulder have Vail and now Houston out on the right side of this line. And the Wings are not using their checking line with it. Well, they are. Dale McCourt was out there to take the face-off but lost it. Reed Larson played it out on the right side. That's Paul Woods battling for it, still bouncing. He got it into the Atlanta zone, but Vail will take it now, and at center ice, Hicks steers his pass away. Long hands it off to McCourt. Dale McCourt took the shot. That was deflected by Reinhardt into the corner, and Vail goes in after it. Eric Vail trying to work away from Dale McCourt, shovels it ahead for Houston. He's stopped by Larson. The three of the Wings move over the line. Here's Larson. He handed it off to McCourt. The puck is in the net. It bounced in off the goaltender, and the Wings lead it 1-0.
Beautiful.
I honestly didn't see it go in until
Beautiful
it
play by Larson. Larson eked his shot. Had McCourt cutting on one side. He had either wing to pass to. He made the play over to McCourt. McCourt uses a backhand. It looked like he was going to try and pass the puck. He put it right through Bouchard's legs, down along the ice, into the corner.
So McCourt's goal, and Larson draws the assist, and Dale McCourt has number 8 on the season. And the Red Wings lead it 1-0. Boys and girls, you can get an official Red Wings puck if you're one of the first 5,000 kids 14 and under to come to the game on Saturday, December 8th, when the Wings meet the Vancouver Canucks, 7:30 p.m. Puck night, sponsored by Tubby's Submarine Shops. Brad Marsh clearing it back into the Detroit zone. Off now to Perry Miller. Here's Miller carrying in. Miller tried to work his way through. He's playing up on a wing, coming back as Murdoch of Atlanta. Into the Detroit zone, but on the left wing, Pronovo was in too quickly, and the play is offside.
A reminder that the National Hockey League All-Star Banquet tickets are available now for February the 4th, Special Olympics. Send your checks for $150 per ticket, made it out to the Detroit Red Wings Special Olympics, and send them to the Olympia Stadium.
We'll have a face-off just over the Detroit blue line. At center ice, this is Murdoch firing it along the boards in behind the Detroit goal. Dale McCourt with Larson drawing the only assist at 13-12. Billy Hogebaum deep in his own zone, cleared it to the line. Marsh held it in. That's John Hamel playing it ahead for Perry Miller to Sobchuk. Dennis Sobchuk fired that shot, and Bouchard grabbed it and falls on top of it as it bounced off his chest.
And Bouchard lost that puck up high. It hit him in the chest, bounced back down to the top of his pads. That, I think, would be the best shot.
We'll be back. Marvin Muse in the Omni here in Atlanta. The Red Wings lead it 1-0. Play is in the Atlanta zone. And that's Eric Vail on the left wing. He was checked right there. It came back in. Actually, Foligno made a pretty good play by not letting it back in, and that prevented the offside. This is very Long. Now Long ahead to Peter Mahovlich. He left it right there. It's cleared over on the left side by McMillan. Vail running in after it, but that's Larson who skated him off. Now Reed Larson. His pass coming to Errol Thompson in behind the goal to Barry Long. Wings lead it 1-0. We have 5 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the first period. Pass coming up to Thompson over on the right side, Larson. Here's Reed Larson. He's got Mahovlich moving, and he held up just a little too long, and Mahovlich was in offside.
Big Peter's starting to skate better than he was earlier in the season. He's a little put out now that Reed Larson didn't pass that puck to him. He was way off on the left side, and he had a full head of steam. Had Larson just thrown it ahead of the play and let Peter skate into it, they would have had a golden opportunity.
Sid, we'd like to send our very best wishes with his Thanksgiving Day birthday tomorrow to the world's greatest dentist, Dr. Florian Muskie, who has been with the Red Wings
for many years. Wonderful person, wonderful family.
And he celebrates the birthday tomorrow. And Florian, we wish you the very best from all of the Red Wing Hockey Club. Puck was sent back into the Detroit end offside, and the play comes back out over the Detroit blue line. Live from Minnesota, it's hockey action as the Detroit Red Wings battle the Minnesota North Stars Saturday, November 24th at 9 o'clock, right here on TV 50.
And talking about birthdays, Bruce, I want to send belated birthday wishes to Phil Bailey back in Detroit. He's a Red Wing fan and very close to a lot of the players. I was supposed to have done this last week. It was the 19th, I believe, his birthday. But Phil, best to you.
Now here's Willie Huber coming out center ice. The long bouncing shot wide of the Atlanta goal. In behind his own net. That's Russell, who cleared it over on the right side, and Gary Younger starts out. He's got Nilsson ahead of him. Here's Nilsson, and he picked it up offside. Play covering two lines, so they'll come back over the center ice line.
You know, Bobby Crom was saying last night that he hoped here in the first period that the Wings would just go up and down with their checks, play it as cautious as they could, more or less feel this club out and find out just where their power is, and they've done a tremendous job here the first 15 minutes and 2 seconds.
Sid, I could just hear the noise at Madison Square Garden, New York. Stamler has scored twice, Melrose and Lukowicz once each, and after the end of the first period, there's a shot by Gary Younger. Winnipeg leads New York Rangers 4-0. Billy Hogebaum. Now Hogebaum, his pass broken up at center ice. He picked it up again, carries over the line, took that shot, and Bouchard stops it. Blaze goes in behind the Atlanta goal. Taken away by Hogebaum. A weak backhander by Sobchuk steered away. Steered along the boards on the left side. Huber held it in. His shot knocked away out in front by Reinhardt. Atlanta's pass broken up again, and Perry Miller drills it right back into the Flame zone. The Wings have outshot Atlanta on an unofficial board here, 8-4. They lead 1-0, and we have 4:15 to go, and this is the first period. Now this is the rookie Reinhardt coming out center ice. Clearing it in behind the Detroit goal. Vachon played it away, and Willie Huber will take it out of the corner. Now Huber. Huber's pass to Perry Miller. Miller dumps it along the boards. The Wings go for the player change. In behind his own net now, defenseman Bob Murdoch moving it out to center ice. Here's Murdoch clearing it into the corner, going in after Clement. So Vachon came out, tipped it away from him. Mahavlich ahead to Foligno. Foligno took a bump from Marsh. Marsh let a backhander go to the corner. Darcy Rhoda, number 18, in after it. He's covered by Long, but still the Flames have the pressure on John Pronovo. Mahavlich has him tied up. And finally it's held long enough for a face-off in the circle to the right side of the Detroit goal. It's the Delight Murdoch back along the defense. The Wings with Peter Mahavlich, Foligno, Errol Thompson, Barry Long, and Reed Larson. Now this is number 12, Errol Thompson going in along the boards. Pronovo ties him up there, and the referee stops the play again, and the face-off remains to the left side of the Detroit goal.
You notice, Bruce, down here in Atlanta, they don't have it's not a big crowd, but they're a very quiet crowd. They're just sitting here on their hands, more or less, waiting for Atlanta to do something. And if the Wings continue to check the way they are and keep this crowd quiet, you have a good chance to beat a hockey club when the fans don't get behind them.
Now the puck goes in behind the Detroit goal into the corner. Digging in along the boards, Foligno couldn't get it out. It goes deeper. Peter Mahavlich goes in with Rhoda. Mahavlich over on the left side to Errol Thompson. He's checked immediately by Murdoch, who went in deep. Very Long in behind his own net. They battle off to the side of the goal. It was dug away. That's Murdoch with a shot, and Errol Thompson went low and blocked that, and it comes all the way back into the Atlanta zone. Marsh out in front of his own goal. Clears it now to Bill Clement. Clement playing it into the Detroit zone, heading back after it, Reed Larson. Larson checked right there by Darcy Rhoda with a stick up around his neck. Foligno comes in after it. Now Mike Foligno played it out on the right side to Larson. Then Foligno was squeezed. The puck coming out center ice. Here's Errol Thompson, and his pass just too far for Paul Woods. Marsh tipped it away. Darcy Rhoda has it. We have 2:25 to play in the first period. 1-0 Detroit. Now McMillan dumping it deep into the Detroit zone, and Dennis Polonich goes in behind his own goal and starts out. He's got Hicks on the left side. Here's Polonich carrying over the line. Took the shot. Bouchard the save. Hicks was chugging in for the rebound, but couldn't get to it. Greg Jolly held it in. Here's Polonich with it. Dennis Polonich dumping it right to the net. Bouchard grabbed that. Played it into the corner. Hicks went in, gave his man Shand a bump. They were jabbing away at one another. Now Radicalio played it out center ice. Greg Jolly stopped it the first time. McMillan picked it up, slides it into the Detroit zone, and it's Willie Huber that went in. Willie Huber dumped in behind the goal. Greg Jolly picks it up. Now on the right side to Dennis Polonich. Here's Polonich with 1:35 to go in the period, trying to work away from Radicalio. Couldn't do it. And the Finnish hockey player hands it off to Eric Vale. Boldarev into the Detroit zone. Goes to the corner with it. Boldarev playing it back on the line. Radicelio with a shot. Knocked down out in front. Greg Jolly trying to work away from Vale. Pinned in behind the goal by Vale. And this is McMillan. McMillan sends it back to Radicelio. Another shot. And Dennis Polonich blocked that. Now Polonich, a long left side pass. Too far for Hicks. That's going to go off the boards. Right to the net. So there's no icing. Radicelio playing it out center ice for Boldarev with a minute to go in the first period. And Detroit leading 1-0. Now Dave Shan clears it ahead on Paul Henderson, driving it into the corner. Reed Larson tipped it on the right side for Dale McCourt. McCourt lost it. Here's Gary Unger intercepting his pass. Unger with a shot, and Vachon stops it and grabs his own rebound. And the play stays deep in the Detroit zone. Fans, remember Saturday, December 1st is Michigan Bell Sports Phone Poster Calendar Night. Each person attending the game receives a poster free from Michigan Bell. That's Saturday, December 1st.
Here's the shot of Unger. Unger, one of the dangerous hockey players when he gets in that close. He got it by the screen, and Rogie come up with a real good save. It hit his chest, bounced right back out into his glove.
Face off to the left of the Detroit goal. Peter Mahovlich in against Unger. 41 seconds to go in the first period. Detroit leads at 1-0. Mahovlich won the face-off. Nielsen went in, put it right out in front. Paul Henderson, a backhand shot deflected to the corner. Larson, his pass didn't get out the first time. Now Errol Thompson sweeps it out to center ice. Bill Russell driving it right back in. Vachon stops it in behind his goal for Larson. Reed Larson out in front to Peter Mahovlich, who rather wisely just lifts it in the air and slides it into the Atlanta zone. 15 seconds to go in the first period. Mahovlich intercepted the pass. He tried to send Paul Woods on his way. Finally, it's Larson backhanding it in. 7 seconds to go in the period. Reinhardt laying it over on the right side. Russell let a shot go from center ice. Vachon stops that easily. And the buzzer goes to end the first period of play. So here is the first period scoring summary brought to you by Magnavox and Plane, flying from Atlanta to Denver, Colorado, where there is an immense amount of snow, we understand. And they'll be meeting the Colorado Rockies in a game Friday night. There will be no telecast of that game, but we'll be with you on radio, WJR, and our Detroit Red Wing radio network at 9:25 from Denver. That's Friday night. And then Saturday, the Red Wings will be at Minnesota. And here's a team that's been red hot at home, the Minnesota North Stars. And that'll be right here on this television station, TV 50, beginning at 9 o'clock. We hope to have you with us Saturday. Then the Wings return home, first time in a long time, on Tuesday night, the 27th. And who else but the Montreal Canadiens coming to town? Today below, what this early part of a season has already proven is that nothing's sacred. Every team is going into every other rink and coming up with wins they're not supposed to do. Look at Winnipeg at New York's Madison Square Garden tonight in the second period.
That's hard to believe. Winnipeg 4, New York Rangers nothing. Winnipeg is having problems winning hockey games, but walk right into New York. As you mentioned, Bruce, the people there in the Gardens will be clamoring. You know, we've had so many fans, hockey fans and Red Wing fans go by the booth here, and I just want to say hello to a few. Joe and Pat Weaver from Benton Harbor want to say hello to the folks back that way. Rick and Debbie Martin, St. Clair Shores, want to say hello. Howard Allison stopped by and he says he wants to say hello to all his friends in Royal Oak. And Jack and Ann Couch want to say hello to their parents, Jimmy and Meg, and all their friends in the Red Wing Forum Club. Joe Comer's 30th birthday today. Red Wing season ticket holder watching tonight's game in Detroit.
Okay, in the first period, the Red Wings 10 shots, and the Atlanta Flames 5. And the Red Wings getting the only goal. Dale McCourt, his 8th of the year, from Reed Larson at 13-12, and the game is 1-0. There's been just one penalty. That's served by Bob Murdoch, off for cross-checking at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. And we hit the second period underway. The teams are at full strength at center ice. Reed Larson. Now Larson tried to set up Foligno. The play broken up. It bounced back to the Detroit line, and Larson has it there. He and Barry Long, the two Detroit defensemen. Now Long sending it ahead. Foligno's pass broken up, and Foligno picked it up again, goes over the line. Mike Foligno, though, is knocked away from him by Phil Russell. Coming back, Clement. Over on the right side, Jean Pronovo with a shot, and it was Barry Long that deflected that up into the crowd. Dan Bouchard, he's been the workhorse of the Atlanta Flames.
Pretty good goaltender. He has the experience.
This is his 18th game. on the season. So Riggin, who is the number 2 goaltender, Pat Riggin, has seen very limited service.
And Pat Riggin is the son of Dennis Riggin that belonged to the Red Wings back many years ago, played out in Edmonton, and was a real fine goaltender.
Now they scramble right out in front of the Detroit goal. Foligno came out with the puck, moves in behind Rogie Vachon. Now Mike Foligno on the right side to Reed Larson. Long pass at center ice. That's Peter Mahovlich with it. Mahovlich played it off the boards to Errol Thompson. He sent it to the side of the Atlanta goal. Kent Nielsen just laid it out to center ice. I tell you, this club looks entirely different without a guy named Willie Plutt out there. Reed Larson trying to get loose. It went to the Atlanta blue line. Came right back to Errol Thompson again. He sends it off to Barry Long. Over on the right side, Larson, a good pass, but it hit the skate of Errol Thompson. Now this is Pronovo carrying back into the Detroit zone. Long has pinned off the puck. Thompson sweeps it in behind his own goal to Reed Larson. Larson bringing it out to Long. Played a minute and a half of the second period. Barry Long, a long shot. And no trouble with that. Bouchard makes the save, plays it to McMillan. Bill McMillan had a great scoring year last season. He scored only twice in the 16 games he's played this year. Took that shot. Vachon blocks it. Willie Huber golfs it out to center ice. Dennis Sobchuk had his man tied up. Now it's Eric Vale playing it back into the crowd. And the play will stay at center ice. 1-0 Detroit. We're back after here in the second period as you look at Al McNeil, the new coach of the Atlanta Flames, highly successful in his year at Montreal. Dennis Polonich played it over the line. That's Paul Woods digging after it. Bumped in along the boards by Shand, who sent him to the ice. Now it comes back into the Detroit zone, and there'll be an icing call. It's back after it, Greg Jolly, and we'll bring it right back into the Atlanta end with the face-off to the right side of Dan Bouchard.
And the second period has opened up pretty well. The same pattern as the first. The Wings are going in, picking up their checks and coming right back. The defense, Red Wing defense, have a chance to stand up around center ice. Atlanta haven't really put on any real threat the entire game.
Jolly and Huber are back along the Detroit defense as Sobchuk is up front with Hicks on the left wing and Polonich on the right side. Bolderev, that's the big line of McMillan and Vale now for Atlanta. Puck was held in. Here's Hicks, took a shot, knocked away on the short side by Bouchard. Played in behind his own goal into the corner. The Flames' Eric Vale goes digging in with Polonich. Here's Willie Huber with it. Huber, a weak bouncing backhander that Bolderev knocks down in front of the goal. Now Ivan Bolderev heading back, coming out center ice. Here's Bolderev over on the right side to McMillan. McMillan took the shot. He scores. That puck bounced off to the right side of Vachon, who didn't seem to see it, and ended up behind him, and it is a 1-1 tie.
Bruce, I think you'll find that puck bounced off the Detroit player. I think Jolly or someone coming across. It was the first time the entire line was trapped. The shot is taken. Vachon is over along the post. I think it hits the player coming across right. Willie Huber coming across, bounced to the open side of the net. It was one of those fluke things. It was the first shot that they had on net. Rogie was tight against the post to cover it. As Huber comes across, I think you'll find the puck hit him up on the pants, just changed positions, and bounced inside the right post.
Wasn't even much of a shot, just a little flip out in the middle. But it's a 1-1 tie. Now that's Netamansky firing it over on the left side. Danny LeBratton couldn't get to it. Murdoch from the blue line with a shot, and that's deflected wide. Nielsen plays it back. It's sent in behind the Detroit goal. Vachon knocked it away from Perry Miller, so it came back to Murdoch. Clearing it into the corner. Kent Nielsen in after it. Now Nielsen's pass is broken up. Nielsen trying to hold it in. Dale McCourt worked it ahead. Here's Netamansky and LeBratton. They're 2-on-1 over the line. Netamansky took the shot, and it's loose out in front as Bouchard made the save. And the play came right out in front again and sent wide. Now Nielsen almost handed it away. There's going to be a penalty coming up as McCourt was tripped. And on the delayed call, Vachon moves to the Detroit bench for the extra attacker. John Amell deep in his own zone. You can see the empty Detroit goal. And as Vachon's pass is intercepted, the penalty called. The Red Wings have another power play chance. We'll be back with that after we pause for this. With McMillan assisting at 2:34 as it bounced in off a Detroit player. Now Reed Larson hands it off to Huber. This is Netamansky over the line, dropping it off for Danny LeBratton. In behind the goal along the boards, that's Huber holding it in. Here's Netamansky going after it, handed it off to Dale McCourt. LeBratton's out in front. LeBratton's shot was blocked. Danny LeBratton handed it back on the line. Willie Huber to Reed Larson with a shot, and Bouchard stops that one. Netamansky holds it in. Big Ned. Here's Netamansky working around Pronovo. He took a weak shot wide. Here's Reed Larson back at the blue line. Now Larson being checked there. Laid it off to LeBratton. It was taken away by Brad Marsh, and he rolls it back into the Detroit end. 1:10 remaining in Unger's penalty. The Wings with the extra man. Willie Huber deep in his own zone. Now Larson. Reed Larson. Playing it off to Huber on the right side. Netamansky, LeBratton. Danny LeBratton. LeBratton. Looking for Reed Larson back at the blue line. Larson fired it right into the fallen player Clement. And Danny LeBratton has to hustle back to beat Pronovo. His pass comes up now to Netamansky. Wings of the extra man for 40 seconds. Netamansky, that long shot. Bouchard shoved the left foot out to kick that away. Here's Larson holding it in. Sets up Errol Thompson. Thompson turns with it. Errol Thompson played it back to Willie Huber, and now Thompson. Thompson back on the point to Reed Larson. Larson hands it off to Netamansky. And a backhand shot. It was almost as if Netamansky wasn't expecting it was blocked. Puck came right to Bouchard. He's going to hold on to it with 15 seconds left in the penalty. Live from New York, it's basketball action as the Detroit Pistons take on the New York Knicks Tuesday, November 27th, 7:30, right here on TV 50.
This has been a good power play for the Wings, but they haven't been able to capitalize. They have moved the puck around well. They've had several good shots.
Face off in the circle to the right of Bouchard. Peter Mahovlich with Foligno and Thompson. Huber and Larson remain on the point. Russell cleared it over on the left side, and it got by and slides all the way back into the Detroit end. That'll eat up the rest of the time on the penalty to Unger. Just a couple seconds left. And he is up and coming back on. So the Wings did not capitalize on the power play. Game remains a 1-1 tie. That's McMillan. McMillan's pass broken up by Huber. Huber cleared it ahead. Here now is Foligno with Thompson. Thompson's over the line. Puck slid away from him. He goes after it again. Dumped it into the corner, but McMillan will play it there. Now Bill McMillan, or rather Bob McMillan, brings it out to center ice. Back into the Detroit zone. Shoved off balance with Bolderev, and right back down the ice, Peter Mahovlich. Mahovlich got it over the line, but Thompson, over on the right side, came in offside. They'll bring it back out over the Atlanta blue line. We played exactly 6 minutes of the second period.
A golden opportunity for the Wings right there. They had trapped the entire line of Atlanta. Peter Mahovlich didn't realize that Thompson was wide open over on the far side on his backhand.
And now it's Paul Woods who centers Polonich and Hicks. Very Long drives it into the Atlanta zone. Paul Reinhardt swinging in behind his own goal. Now moving out with it. This is Bolderev, but Very Long broke it up. A quick pass ahead now to Polonich. Polonich tried to work around for Reinhardt and into the linesman. Glenn Hicks trying to hold it in, and he couldn't do it, and Hamel will take it at center ice. Now Very Long. Long's pass off of Paul Woods, picked up by Polonich, back into the Atlanta zone. A drop pass for Woods. Woods drove it into the corner. Reinhardt went in after it, ahead now to Eric Vale. Three of the Flames move out. At center ice, it's broken up by Hicks. Glenn Hicks of the Wings, a good hard-working youngster, comes back out again. He's got Polonich trailing, the two of them over the line. Hicks lost it there. Bolderev heads back. Kent Nielsen, he was stopped by Hamel. Hamel drove it back to center ice. Making the bump on the play was Hicks, and over the line, Sobchak with a shot. He sent that wide. Now that's Kent Nielsen, number 14, over on the right side to Kurt Bennett on for the first time. Bennett took a shot. That's blocked by Long. Very Long played it too far for Hogebaum. Reinhardt sent it beyond Gary Unger, who just come on the ice. They wave off an icing, so Long's going to have to play it. Very Long coming back out center ice. Here's Long winding up with a long shot, grabbed off the top of the goal. Bouchard cleared it into the corner, and Gary Unger moves out. Now Unger's pass coming up to Kent Nielsen. He was checked by Huber. Puck went high in the air, and Vachon drops it off for Jolly. Greg Jolly trying to work away from Bennett. Does just that. Comes out center ice. He slid it along the boards into the corner in the Atlanta zone. Back after it, Radicalio. Radicalio moving it out to center ice. Radicchio over the line into the Detroit zone with a shot blocked by Jolly. There's a penalty coming up to Detroit. And Atlanta is going to have the first power play opportunity of a hockey game, and we'll be back with that after we pause.
Well, this is a play that is pretty well stopped by the defenseman as the play is coming in. The Atlanta player is not going anywhere at all. Checked, but then Perry Miller comes in from behind and charges and really flattens him by jumping into his back and receives a charging penalty, and it gives Atlanta their first power play opportunity.
Miller off for charging. 7 minutes, 52 seconds, the time of the penalty. That's the first Detroit penalty of the hockey game. The Atlanta Flames have had 2, but both goals have come with the teams at full strength. McCourt of Detroit at 13-12 in the first period. Boldarev of Atlanta, 2:34 of the second. Gary Unger, he has Paul Henderson on the right side, Darcy Road on the left. That's McCourt in against Unger. Unger won the draw. Reinhardt took a flip shot, bouncing right to the Detroit goal, and Vachon very alertly moved in to fall on top of that. Boy, that's a dangerous type of a play with a bouncing puck.
Well, Paul Henderson reached up. Rogie was coming out of his net to catch this puck. It was a high deflection. And Paul Henderson, I believe, comes across and he puts his hand up and catches it before Rogie can move out. And he puts it down on the ice, but he can't get enough onto it. And Rogie made a big save.
So the face-off in the circle to the right of the Detroit goal.
And our fans back in Detroit certainly remember Henderson from back many years ago. And then he was the big star in the Russian series back in '72.
Now the play loose in behind the Detroit net. That's Unger putting it right through the goal crease, and Paul Woods takes it off the boards and shoots it down the ice. They've used up 20 seconds of the penalty time to Detroit's Perry Miller. Puck sent right to his own goal by Kent Nilsson. Nilsson lost it out in front, and that's Reed Larson that flipped it to the net. Crowd getting a little impatient. Now Kent Nilsson starts out again. Play comes out to Unger, went through him, but it'll be picked up and taken over the line by Reinhardt. Oh, Reinhardt playing it back on the line to Nilsson, to Reinhardt, in behind the net. Vachon came out to clear it away from Henderson, a bouncing puck. Reed Larson tipped it ahead for Harold Thompson, and now Barry Long. He's got Dale McCourt with him, but he flipped it way into the corner ahead of McCourt. And the Flames go back after it. Coming out again is Unger. 55 seconds left in the penalty as Unger carries into the Detroit zone. Drops it back now. That's Nilsson moving in. Here's Nilsson in behind the Detroit goal. Put it right through the crease. Made a great play on it, but it failed to click. And the Wings shoot it back into the Atlanta zone. And Kent Nilsson showed you a little something right there.
Yes, he made a little head feint and everybody went for it.
Now the puck bouncing around in the Atlanta zone with a half a minute remaining in the Detroit penalty. And the game a 1-1 tie as we near the midpoint of the second period. Played out at center ice for Eric Vale. Here's Vale charging back into the Detroit zone. Vale trying to work away from Barry Long. Long falling down, tipped it, but Vale controls it. Now Vale dropping it off for Bob McMillan. McMillan trying to work away from Mahovlich. McMillan put it out in front, but the pass was high over Vale. Back on the line again now is Radicchio, and it's not broken up. He comes back to center ice. Radicchio taking it back into the Detroit zone. The penalty's over, but here's a shot by McMillan. He scores, and Atlanta leads it 2-1 just as Miller came out onto the ice.
And that was a great play by Radicchio, the boy from Finland. He just took the play just outside the blue line, swung across, and nobody picks up McMillan. He's open on the left-hand side, and right from the spot, heaved high on the left-hand side, just inside the post. He was left free over on the left side, and the perfect pass to him. He was their leading scorer, one of their leading scorers last year, and this year he's had injuries and sickness and whatnot, and has not scored for this club. But
the two defensemen, Russell and Radicchio, draw the assists on the goal by McMillan, just his third of the year. The Wings have outshot Atlanta 18-11 right now, but they trail 2-1. And they hold the play in the Detroit zone. Huber stops it out in front of Vachon. Now here's Dale McCourt on the right side to Nedemansky. Big Ned. Ned fired a shot and it went wide. Puck comes all the way back out center ice. Clement, a weak pass. Got by Kurt Bennett. Wings can't play it in. Nedemansky was in deep. Picked it up now at center ice. Here now, Dale McCourt, and the puck knocked away and comes back out to Clement. Billy Clement back into the Detroit zone, bringing it back out center ice, turning with it there. It's wheeled in behind the Detroit net. 9 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the second period. The Wings have carried the play, but they trail in the game. Back out center ice, McCourt to Nedemansky. Big net. Here's Nedemansky with a shot that goes wide. Jolly will hold it in. Jolly sending it in behind the Atlanta goal. Marsh was there, clearing it on the left side. It's knocked away. That's Willie Huber's shot. Was blocked, though, and Clement blocked it. Cleared it out on the right side. John Pronovo failed to get away from Jolly. Murdoch was turned around by Jolly. And Dale McCourt has it. Now Dale McCourt, a good move away from Unger. He's got Nedemansky on the right side, but Ned was checked right there. Rhoda to Murdoch. Bob Murdoch with a shot, knocked away by Vachon. Jolly cleared it out on the left side. Danny LeBrat in a long pass coming up now to Polonich. He's got McCourt ahead of him, the two of them over the line. The drop pass from McCourt. He took the shot, knocked down before it got through. It goes to the corner. Marsh has Polonich all tied up with a puck between them. And the play is stopped. 2-1 Atlanta. We're back in just a moment. Now the face-off to the right side of Bouchard and the Atlanta goal. We have 8 minutes, 25 seconds still to go in the second period. Sobchuk with Miller on the left wing and Hogebaum on the right side for Detroit. Sobchuk won the face-off, but he didn't keep it in. It was brought back in offside by Hicks. So they'll bring the play back out over the Atlanta blue line. The Wings were actually going with 4 forwards at the time. With the face-off deep in the Atlanta end, Perry Miller was up on the left wing, and Hicks was back there, but now Hamel comes on, replacing him. Puck went into the Atlanta zone, cleared there by Dave Shan. Radicella hands it back to him, and Shan dumps it out center ice. Hamel stopped it there, lost it. Here's Gary Unger bringing it over the line with Rhoda. Unger took the shot. Vachon knocked that away. Now Jean Hamel's pass tipped out center ice by Miller, and back after it, Radicalio again. Center ice pass coming up to Rhoda. On the right side, this is Ken Houston trying to get out in front. He did. He took the shot, and Barry Long blocked it. And the rebound sent wide of the net. Back on the line, Radicalio's shot blocked by Perry Miller. Picking it up is Sobchuk. Dennis Sobchuk on the right side to Miller. Miller trying to hand it to Hogebaum. He was checked, couldn't get loose. The puck's still in the Atlanta zone. Here's Jean Hamel with a shot, and that went wide. Darcy Rhoda takes it off the boards and brings it out to center ice. Fired it all the way down the ice. There'll be an icing call as back after it is Long, and the play will come back in to the Atlanta zone. This week, Pesky's Great American Small Boneless Hams are featured at all local Great Scott stores.
Atlanta have perked up a little bit. They've had 2 or 3 chances to score. They got around John Hamel and went in, and Unger took a shot from a bad angle, really, instead of making the play out. But Rogie has had to be sharp on a couple plays.
Sid, you mentioned...
Barry Long made a terrific save on this play that was shown where he blocked the shot directly out in front of Vachon.
Back to the live action. You mentioned that Cliff Fletcher is a fellow who's put this team together, and he will be your guest in the second intermission, live from here in our telecast location in Atlanta, Georgia, the Omni. 2-1, the Flames lead. But the Wings have carried the play to them. One puck bouncing in off the Detroit defenseman. Now that's Dennis Polonich carrying back into the Atlanta zone. Polonich couldn't hold it in. It bounced back to Willie Huber. He hit the linesman with it. Polonich has it again. Polonich clearing it. Here's Hicks charging after it. Glenn Hicks moving in behind the Atlanta goal, trying to center it. He was covered there. Paul Woods dug it away. Woods played it deeper. McMillan going after it. Hicks knocked it away from him, but covering up was Phil Russell. Puck still in the Atlanta zone. Greg Jolly with a shot, and Bouchard deflects that up into the crowd. So the play stays still deep in the Atlanta zone.
The Wings have taken 19 shots on net. The Flames have returned 13. Here with 13 minutes gone by in this second period.
Face off in the circle to the right side of the Atlanta net. And the Wings are back out now with Reed Larson and Ferry Miller on the defense. Hicks remains up front with Woods and Polonich. Ivan Boldarev. He's got McMillan on one wing and Vale on the other for Atlanta. Ferry Miller. That shot knocked off the side by Bouchard. Russell cleared it, now out at center ice. Perry Miller will intercept, shooting it right back in. A bouncing puck to the side of the Atlanta goal. Reinhardt Sending it now to Russell. It bounced center ice again, and Miller again golfed it back in, but this time Polonich was just coming back, and the play is offside. Face off right at center ice with 6 minutes, 15 seconds to play. Second period, 2-1 Atlanta.
Al McNeil behind the Atlanta bench. He's had a funny career when you think of it. He's been coaching in the minors for many years, but he was brought up to the Montreal Canadiens back, I think, somewhere around 1972, and they won the Stanley Cup. The following year, he was back in Nova Scotia. It's kind of odd to win a cup championship with a team and then be sent back to the minors.
Play goes in behind the Atlanta goal, dumped into the corner. Mike Foligno. He and Marsh are going to drop the gloves and go at it in the circle off to the right of the Atlanta goal. The two of them with a good grip on each other. Marsh gets the right hand loose. Foligno just holding on right now. Well, the two linesmen move in.
They're both pretty big boys,
yep.
and well, Foligno goes in the corner to try and retrieve a puck, and Marsh gives him a little pull right there and gets his elbow up and really throws an elbow into his face. And first thing you know, they started pushing, and it turned out to be kind of a wrestling match. Foligno got his elbow back up into Marsh's face, so well, really no one gets hurt. They dropped their gloves and wrestled for a while, and both of them had show that they're pretty strong kids, I'll say that.
Referee Kilger decides no fighting, just a couple of roughing penalties, gives them each minors, which means each team will play short a man. Marsh and Foligno off together for roughing at 13:59. Perry Miller took Reed Larson's pass, drove it in behind the Atlanta goal. Peter Mahovlich went in after it, tried to center it, and Thompson was there and open, but the pass didn't come through. Now Radicalio moves out for Atlanta. Played it back to Kent Nilsson. Out on the right side, Gary Unger has it. Unger's pass came back to Radicalio, taking it back into the Detroit zone. Radicalio's pass stopped by Reed Larson. Larson turning in front of Vachon. Very Long. Now Long ahead to Errol Thompson off his skate. Long turns with it again at center ice. Good move with it, handed it to Larson. Larson had trouble and went into the Atlanta zone. It'll be brought back out by Shand. Radicalio. Each team short a man. This is Gary Unger dropping it back toward the line. Long starts. Errol Thompson out. One man back. That's Shand. Larson is coming up with Thompson. Thompson tried to move out in front. He was checked. Here's Larson digging it out of the corner, and Kent Nilsson stopped him. Larson went right back after him, but it's dug away. Radicalio's pass, and finally it's a goaltender. Bouchard is going to shoot it down the ice. And it goes not far enough for an icing as Peter Mahovlich slowly goes back to get it. Mahovlich coming out with it. Lost it for the moment, but very Long shovels it ahead now to Larson. Nedomansky. Big net over the line, took that shot. It deflected high off the glass. That's Larson trying to hold it in, falling down, working it off to Nedomansky, but it was tipped away. Larson knocked away by Eric Vale. It's into the Detroit zone, and coming across the ice, it was Barry Long that made the defensive play on Bob McMillan. Now it's McCourt starting back. Ahead now to Nedomansky. Each team short a man, 15 seconds as Nedomansky pulls up, goes into the corner, but taking it away was Reinhardt. Dale McCourt giving chase to it. McMillan got there first, and the Flames come out to center ice. Now McMillan into the Detroit zone. That's Phil Russell. Russell was stopped by Greg Jolly. The penalty's over. The teams are at full strength. Play is still in the Detroit zone. With it now, Russell, he handed it to Vale. It's still bouncing around in the Detroit end, and finally Willie Huber comes out with it. Now the Wings have three men moving down. Huber, Mike Foligno. Foligno gets over the line. He's being hooked right there by Reinhardt and couldn't get loose. Foligno dropped it, but Jolly didn't come up on it. Now 3-on-2 over the line. Bolderev's pass broken up, and it's in the Detroit zone, but Huber will take it. 3.5 minutes to go in the second period. 2-1 Atlanta. Bolderev. His pass now. Reinhardt. Henderson is going to be a Detroit penalty coming up to Foligno. The play goes into the corner. The whistle stops it. And Atlanta again is going to have the extra man.
Well, I don't believe that Mike Foligno meant to pull this player down. His stick appears as though it gets caught up in the waist of the Atlanta player. He has his stick up underneath, and he was trying to release his stick, and it just appeared as though the Atlanta player made a deliberate effort to stay hooked, and then took a little bit of a swan dive, and they wind up getting a penalty.
A hooking call to Foligno at 16:43. Foligno, cutting through just a moment or two ago, could well have drawn one. It's a comedy of errors.
In the second period, the Islanders are ahead of someone 1-0. I'm trying to think who it was.
Minnesota.
Minnesota 1-0.
So Atlanta with the extra man and the play in the Detroit zone. Foligno for hooking at 16:43. Back on the point now. It's handed off to Kent Nilsson. Nilsson's pass bounced beyond Boldarev, was sent to the side of the Detroit goal. Into the corner, Jean Pronovo in after it. Pronovo being checked right there by Barry Long. It's dug away by Henderson. Here's Paul Henderson handing it off now to Pronovo. Back on the line, Kent Nilsson with a shot. Vachon stopped it, and they score on the rebound. Boldarev, I believe it was, who dug it away, and now gives a 3-1 lead to Atlanta.
I think Paul Henderson touches this puck in front of the net, gets it over to Boldarev. Boldarev is standing off to the corner all by himself. The shot comes through. Rogie makes the save. Watch it bounce right back. There's Henderson, 19, with the mask helmet on. He puts it over. Boldarev is standing there all by himself. He puts it in the open corner to give them a 3-1 lead. And that's the first power play goal scored of the evening.
Minutes and 13 seconds of the second period. Henderson and Nilsson draw the assist on Boldarev's second goal of the game. His 7th on the season, a power play goal. Now Sobchuk moves in between Perry Miller and Billy Hogebaum. Ball sent back into the Atlanta zone. Murdoch has it there. Giving it to Brad Marsh, turning away from Sobchuk's check. Coming out with it now is Marsh. Firing it in behind the Detroit net. It bounced right out in front. Willie Huber cleared it, and it bounced out to center ice. Darcy Rhoda back after it, dropping it back for Murdoch. Murdoch clearing it back to the Detroit line. Greg Jolly takes it there. 2:15 to go in the second period. Puck tipped into the Atlanta zone. Marsh has it. Now Brad Marsh over on the right side to Murdoch. Murdoch shooting it into the Detroit end. Coming back, Jolly tipped it away. Back out at center ice. Hogebaum just failed to get loose. Now Unger played it to Rhoda. Rhoda back into the Detroit end. Rhoda put it out in front. It bounced off Huber, and here's Hogebaum with it. Billy Hogebaum down the boards on the right side. Has Miller trailing. Miller put it right out in front. It's cleared back to the line. Jolly's shot was blocked, kept in by Hogebaum. Cleared it into the corner. Murdoch goes in with Sobchuk. It's in behind the goal, and they hold it there. A face-off stays deep in the Atlanta end. I'll tell you, the way the game has been going, a 3-1 score, Atlanta is not going to hold up if the Wings continue to press as they were in a good part of this hockey game.
No, I believe that too, Bruce. Although the Wings haven't had real good scoring opportunities the last 5 or 6 minutes. They are carrying the play an awful lot, but they're not getting into the area where they can put the puck in the net. Atlanta come up with the first one, kind of a lucky goal. McMillan, or Boldarev from McMillan.
Peter Mahovlich sending it back to Thompson. Now Barry Long. Long shot deflected into the corner. Thompson goes in after it. Harold Thompson trying to work it away, being checked right there by Reinhardt. And that puck went in behind the goal. Bill Russell sent it along the boards. It stayed in the circle. Russell came after it. He was checked by Mahovlich, but Bob McMillan picks it up, played it out to Barry Long, who shoots it right back in. 1:10 to go in the period. Fired back out center ice. Reed Larson's pass. Going after it is McMillan. Bobby McMillan winding up at center ice. Moved into the Detroit zone. He was checked there. The puck stays in behind the Detroit net. Barry Long takes it into the corner. He's being turned around there by Clement, so Nedomansky goes in after it. Now Big Ned. 50 seconds to play in the period. Just shot it out center ice. Ronicalio ahead now to Eric Bale. Bale cutting back into the Detroit zone, and Vachon reached up to grab a screamer there. Nedomansky again winding up in his own zone. Clearing it now to Reed Larson. Larson back into the Atlanta end, trying to cut through. He was sent into the corner. His pass coming out in front, but went behind Mahovlich. Now Pronovo over on the left wing for Darcy Rhoda. Rhoda in behind the Detroit goal. Barry Long tying him up there. Unger gets into it. They're down. The puck loose. Mahovlich has it with 10 seconds to go. Mahovlich spun around by Pronovo. Clears it out to Harold Thompson. He's got Larson with 5 seconds in the period. Larson moving out in front, drops it for Mahovlich. Mahovlich's shot went wide, and the buzzer goes to end the second period. So here is the second period scoring summary, brought to you by Magnavox and Predator Appliance Store. With Detroit leading 1-0 going into the second period, Ivan...
3, Esposito, Hedberg, and Vickers have scored for the Rangers, so at the end of the second period, it's Winnipeg 4, New York Rangers 3.
Well, in the shots on goal in the first period, the Wings were out shooting Atlanta 10-5, and they outshot Atlanta 13-11 in the second period. So the Wings have had 23 shots. Well, they just changed it and made it Detroit 21 and Atlanta 16. So now they have given Detroit 11 shots, each team 11 shots in the second period.
We have one more score, Bruce. Pittsburgh are now leading St. Louis 4-2, playing in the third period. Malone has scored early in the third period.
And the third period underway here with both teams at full strength. Detroit with Mahovlich, Harold Thompson, and Mike Foligno. Barry Long and Reed Larson. That's Larson clearing ahead to Peter Mahovlich. Mahovlich's pass to Harold Thompson. Now Thompson on the right side. Larson got it over the line. Mike Foligno was checked right there by Kent Nilsson, who cleared it back out center ice. Barry Long dumping it back into the Atlanta end. Phil Russell has it. Now to Reinhardt. Play was tipped away by Foligno. Puck goes in behind the Atlanta goal, and Russell is in after it. Now Russell's pass ahead to Billy Clement. He's lost it to Peter Mahovlich. He got it over the line, kept in. Thompson drove the shot, and Bouchard stopped that. And he holds on to it, and the play will stay in the Atlanta zone. The circle off to the right of Dan Bouchard.
And this is the Wings' real scoring opportunity. Thompson really unloads, and Bouchard makes a big save. It bounces right back out in front of him, but he's down on his hands and knees to make the save. And that's the kind of a break you have to get where you can score on an opportunity like that early in a period. That sets the other club back a little bit and brings your club on a little stronger. The Wings have to get an early goal.
Dale McCord with LeBratton and Nedemansky now, and Willie Huber joins Greg Jolly back along the Red Wing defense. Boldarev up front with McMillan on one wing and Eric Vale on the other. Face off deep in the Atlanta zone. McCourt won the draw. No, Nedemansky whistled the shot, and Bouchard. That's his save of this hockey game.
No doubt about that. That's the save of the game. What a shot. McCourt wins the face-off. Nedemansky got rid of it the minute it got to him. And Bouchard with that glove, how he ever got it up there, but shows that he is a terrific glove goaltender. He saved them a goal.
This time the Flames win the draw, and in behind his own goal is Murdoch. Now Bob Murdoch out on the left side to Marsh. At center ice, McMillan. Now Eric Vale. Vale was turned around, came back to Marsh. He golfed it into the Detroit zone. Along the boards, Greg Jolly giving chase to it. He was given a bump, and McMillan comes up with the puck. Here's Bobby McMillan putting it in front, but it's Huber that broke that up. Then Willie Huber checked by Vale. They hold it in along the boards. That puck is still bouncing around loose. Coming out with it, McMillan. And it was tipped away by LeBratton, picked up by Huber. This pass too far for Nedemansky. Fired all the way down the ice. There'll be an icing call as Jolly is back after it. We played a minute and a half of the third period, and we'll be back in just a moment.
What's the big news about our 1980 GCJ? MSG, more fun per gallon.
With a new 4-cylinder engine and drivetrain, the 1980 Jeep CJ delivers 21 EPA estimated MPG, plus all the gutsy performance CJs are famous for.
With the Jeep CJ, you get fuel economy you can be proud of. The best of any four-wheel drive vehicle built in America.
See all the new 1980s at your Metro Detroit AMC Jeep dealer.
Bobby Crom looking on. You can see the clock. It shows 18.5 minutes still to play in this, the third period in the hockey game. And the Wings need one here in a hurry to get back into it. And again, the Flames win the draw, and Marsh takes it in behind his own goal. He's got Gary Unger out on the left side. He goes instead to the right. Murdoch clearing it ahead too far for Darcy Rhoda. This again will be an icing call as Jolly's back after it. Touched it right in the goal crease, and Vachon covered up there. But the play again back into the Atlanta zone. Boys and girls, you can get an official Detroit Red Wing hockey puck if you are one of the first 5,000 kids, 14 and under, to come to the game on Saturday, December 8th, when the Wings meet the Vancouver Canucks at 7:30 p.m. Puck Night, sponsored by Tubby's Submarine Shops. Washington Capitals brought in a new coach 5 games ago, Gary Green. He received more press than Carter has in Washington, I think, that particular day. But they haven't won a game yet. And they're losing 4-0 to the Chicago Blackhawks at Chicago tonight in the first period. Now the Red Wings cleared over the line. Here's Rhoda going in. A weak shot off the side of the goal. Coming out with it, Greg Jolly. Jolly's pass broken up the first time by Ken Houston. Now he hands it off to Perry Miller. Nedemansky off to Miller again. Danny LeBratton was shoved over the line, and the play is way offside. They'll come back out over the Atlanta blue line. And a quick player change from the Detroit bench as you look at Dale McCourt. He has his 8th goal of the year. That came in the first period, and it is the only Detroit goal that they have scored on the 22 shots that they've thus far fired in the direction of Dan Bouchard.
And I think Bouchard has been called upon to make his 2 best saves of the night, probably, here early in the 3rd period.
Now the puck bouncing at center ice. Long cleared it along the boards in behind the Atlanta goal. That's Dave Shand. Shand working it out to center ice, put it right on the stick of Barry Long. Long golfed it right back in. A bouncing puck. Bouchard handles that carefully, and Shand will try again. On the right side to Jean Pronovost. Now that's Clement, who shot it over the line into the Detroit zone. Digging after it was Kurt Bennett. He left it in behind the goal, and coming out with it, Dennis Polonich. Polonich on the boards for Hicks. He's got Woods ahead of him. Then Hicks pulled away from Pronovost's check, cleared it in behind the Atlanta goal. Bouchard stops it there. Go to Kellio. Laying it ahead to Clement. Former Philadelphia Flyer property, checked at center ice by Reed Larson. Now Larson gets up. Played it back deeper, and Paul Woods and Barry Long with Alphonse and Gaston. So Woods went back after it, clearing it now to Barry Long. In behind Vachon, the Wings down by 2. And at center ice, overskating it the first time. Shand picked it up, wrapped it back to his own blue line. Go to Kellio. Cleared it now to Clement. Billy Clement around Peter Mahavlich, lifting it into the air and down the ice. That's Barry Long. Both teams changing on the move. Right side pass to Mike Foligno. Here's Foligno. Larson coming up the right side, and they whistle it down offside as Larson got in ahead of the pass. So the game 3-1 Atlanta. We shall be back in a moment. They have outshot them 22-16 at this stage of the hockey game. At center ice, Mike Foligno. Now Foligno on the left wing for Errol Thompson, scooping it into the Atlanta zone. That's Bouchard clearing it to Eric Vale. He played it deeper into the corner, going in behind his own goal. That's Reinhart, and it's cleared out on the right side to McMillan, Bobby McMillan. Playing it deep into the Detroit zone. Greg Jolly went in behind his own net. Puck came loose, and Peter Mahavlich has it. Ahead now to Thompson at center ice. Perry Miller. He's got Foligno on the right side. The 2 of them over the line. Perry Miller's pass, though, broken up, but here's Foligno taking it away. Mike Foligno trying to get loose, didn't do it. Now here they come back. Coming back quickly was Miller. And Miller tipped his man, and there'll be another Detroit penalty coming up. And the play whistled down, and the Wings, who don't need it right at this moment, are going to draw the penalty.
Now this is one time that right at this stage of the game, they've got to stay on the ice now. Perry Miller makes a great play on this, but you just can't dive and upend a player like this. He dove into his skates and legs. He pulled him down and winds up getting a penalty. He put up a little beef in the fact that the player still remained in possession of the puck, but it was a penalty that had to be called.
So Miller goes off for tripping. 4 minutes, 27 seconds, the time of the penalty. The Wings trail at 3-1 with a lot of time remaining. Dale McCourt and Paul Woods, penalty killers with Long and Larson. Gary Unger won the draw. It came all the way out to center ice. Back after it, Reinhart. Now with the extra man, the Flames' Gary Unger. Clearing it ahead to Pronovost. Now to Reinhart, the rookie. Tipped it into the Detroit zone. Vachon stopped it in behind his own goal. Paul Woods checked there by Paul Henderson. Pronovost gets into it, so does Barry Long. Still no whistle. Now it blows, and the face-off stays in the Detroit end.
I don't know if Paul Henderson is wearing that mask to protect a broken nose or anything. You wouldn't be able to throw a fistful of rice through there.
He's wearing it to protect a pretty face.
It could be that, because he didn't like to get hit too often, but he is wearing a mask that is just unbelievable. The bars on it. It's got to bother him some.
Now there's a shot right in front of the goal. It bounced in behind it. Reinhardt will hold it in. Into the corner, it bounced away from Gary Unger. Long took a swing at it. They still jam it in along the boards. Mahovlich got it loose, but Unger took it. Into the circle now to Pronovo, back on the line. That's Nilsson handing it back to Pronovo. John Pronovo. He dumped it off to the side. Unger holds it, plays it back now to Pronovo, back on the line. Kent Nielsen drilled a shot and it deflected wide. And the puck itself off the boards comes all the way back to the Atlanta blue line with a minute remaining in Miller's penalty time. Now coming out again is Reinhardt. Paul Reinhardt over the line into the Detroit zone. Feeding it to Paul Henderson. It bounced away from him. Going after it, Reed Larson. He failed to work it out. It's picked up now by Paul Woods. He got it to the line. Knocked down by Nielsen. Here's Kent Nielsen handing it off to Pronovo. Pronovo put it right out in front and went over the top of the goal. Paul Henderson goes into the corner after it. Given a bump there by Woods. It's back on the line. Reinhardt handed it off and Nielsen scores. Kent Nielsen drives it in. Another power play goal. And now it is 4-1 Atlanta.
And here's a case where this fella can really shoot a puck. He unloaded this right from the blue line, and there was a screen out in front of Rogie, but I don't think Pronovo touched it. He may have out in front of the net, but it was in up on the left-hand corner over Rogie's shoulder. This is the boy that scored so many goals out in Winnipeg, Nilsson from Sweden. And I think he gets credit for the goal, the shot right from the blue line. That goal really hurts because the Wings, when they were behind 3-1, one quick goal had them right back in it.
So the penalty to Miller results in the second power play goal for Atlanta. Nilsson getting his 12th of the year from Reinhardt and Henderson at 6:02. Play is back into the Atlanta zone. Teams at full strength. It bounced away from LeBratton and picked off the boards now by Rhoda. Long pass on the right side. Bill Clement took it over the line. Kenny Houston handed it back to him. Now Rhoda trying to tip it back toward the line. It's Willie Huber that came in, took it away. He's got Nedomansky moving in. Nedomansky's pass to LeBratton. Danny LeBratton swung behind the goal and took a heavy check, and he's been hurt. LeBratton's been shaken up as he was hit heavily to the boards in behind the Atlanta goal.
And he was really hit. He doesn't see the player at all. I hope nothing serious because he got hit straight up. I guess it's Rhoda that come in and jumped. He is still down. Trainer Lefty Wilson is out talking to him. He's getting up to on his feet now. He's fine.
I think he took a bump in the head. Good old helmet.
Right. He's a good kid, this Danny LeBratton.
So Lefty will make his way back to the Detroit bench, and LeBratton evidently is going to stay on.
I was going to mention, Bruce,
He loosened that glass up there. You can see the attendant working on it.
The Red Wing Old-Timers are going to play a couple of games. They're playing one in Fraser, Michigan on December the 1st. So people out that way want to enjoy a hockey game. And the Old-Timers go up to Muskegon on December the 7th and play a game up there. Jimmy Peters and Bill Gadsby and Alec Del Vecchio. Really a crew and have a lot of fun.
Danny LeBratton and Dale McCourt both talking to referee Bob Kilger because that could easily have been a charging call or what have you. But not to be, and so the face-off back out over the Atlanta blue line. Back after it now is Greg Jolly. He played it back to Willie Huber. Jolly again. Now Jolly to Dale McCourt. McCourt's pass tipped away from Nedomansky and driven back to the Detroit line. Willie Huber handing it there to Jolly. Greg Jolly starts Huber. And Danny LeBratton was just standing over the line, but there's going to be a penalty coming up to Atlanta, and I think he called this one about a minute late. So we shall be back with the Detroit power play after we pause for this message.
To stick into the legs and winds up getting a penalty there where, I don't know, the Detroit player was trying to get free, and it was Rhoda that hit Danny LeBratton, I believe.
I couldn't be too sure. At any rate, I think it was called about a minute later to make up for what had happened before. Now here's Peter Mahovlich leading the Detroit power play over the line. Peter Mahovlich taking it to the circle and then laid it right on the stick of Bill Clement, and Clement comes out with Pronovo, and the two of them move into the Detroit zone. A centering pass was just over the crossbar. And chasing into the corner after it, Clement again with Nedemansky checking him. Willie Huber got into it. It came loose the other side, but Murdoch is going to be there. And Danny LeBreton fighting him for the puck. Murdoch controls it. It's all Atlanta right now. They have the extra man. Dale McCourt trying to play the puck. It's finally sent in behind the goal by Mahavlich. Peter Mahavlich in behind his own net. The Wings have the extra man for about a minute now. Here's Huber. Nedemansky over the line. Off to Willie Huber with a shot. Knocked away. Peter Mahavlich holds it in at the left point. Tried to set up Dale McCourt. That puck bouncing but knocked away. And the Flames clear it out to center ice. It skipped away from McCourt. Rolls all the way back into the Detroit end. We have 40 seconds remaining, and wrote a tripping penalty. It was called at 7:05. Detroit trails by 3. Here's Peter Mahavlich coming out again. Now Mahavlich charging over the line. He's checked right there by Murdoch. Went back into him. It skipped away from Thompson. Harold Thompson trying to work away from McMillan. Now Thompson back in. Handed it off to Foligno. Foligno out to Mahavlich. Now to Jolly. Here's a chance for Barry Long. He fired the shot. That's deflected away. Taken out of the corner by Thompson. Off the side of the net. It bounced from Foligno. And Murdoch will pick it up and shoot it out to center ice. 5 seconds left in the penalty, and the Wings not too close. Penalty is over. Rhoda is back on. Here's Darcy Rhoda. Just came out of the penalty box, and he was given a whack by Foligno. And that did not result in anything. Dumped back into the Detroit zone. Barry Long goes in after it. He's battling right there with Bolderev, and Paul Woods will come out with the puck. Now Woods turned around by Eric Vale. Cleared it out to the line, but it was kept in. Kept in by Ken Houston. Houston out in front. Vale took a shot. Blocked by Woods. Coming back, Foligno and Thompson. Puck got over the line, then tipped up into the crowd. And we have a pause in the action. 4-1 Atlanta. We're back in a moment. Vale on one wing, and now Houston on the right side. At center ice, Dennis Polonich drops it back for Willie Huber. Now this is Paul Woods. Ahead to Hicks. Hicks trying to work away from Russell. Took a shot, knocked away at the side of the net. Here's Polonich digging it out. Back on the blue line for Greg Jolly. He let one go, and that's deflected wide. Vale takes it off the boards. Eric Vale trying to work away from Paul Woods. Cleared it ahead to Houston. Now Ken Houston. It's tipped deep into the Detroit zone. In behind the Red Wing goal. Going after it, Dennis Polonich. Now Polonich starts out. Polonich turns away from Bolderev's check. We have 9 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the hockey game, and the Wings are down by 3. Now Atlanta has the play. It went in offside. We'll come out over the Detroit blue line for the faceoff. Red Wings on their way tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day, which I hope is a very nice day for you and your family, on their way to Colorado. And we'll be with you on WJR Radio on our Detroit Red Wing radio network at 9:25 with that game. Then the Wings will leave Saturday on their way to Minneapolis for the game against the Minnesota North Stars. That'll be Saturday night, and that'll be our next telecast here on TV 50. We'll be with you at 9 o'clock Detroit time from Minnesota.
And we have our first final, Bruce. Hartford have defeated Buffalo 5-3. Hartford continue to play very well.
They work on the ice surface there. The two linesmen right at center ice, or there must be a chip down toward the cement. Detroit Pistons played here last night, and understand from a couple of the folks who are here watching the game that had it not been for the officiating, I think Detroit would have walked off with a victory. Where a couple of Detroit fans have told me that. I guess you could understand that.
You know, I think the Wings have played a much stronger hockey game than the score board indicates. 4-1 Atlanta. Atlanta have capitalized when they've had their chances. They've jumped on 2 penalties to Detroit to score goals. The last one, the Nilsson from Henderson and Reinhart power play goal, probably hurt the most, because when it was 3-1, I felt that if Detroit could score the goal, they would still have a chance to come back. They have to really put pressure on now and be able to move their defensemen inside the Atlanta blue line and see if they can pepper this goaltender if they're going to get back in this hockey game. They can't lay back now. You may as well be beaten 6-1 or 7-1, but put a big drive on, see if you can get back into it.
So Bobby Crom, as you saw him, looks on rather sternly, not too happy with the way things have been going here. Now that's Paul Henderson digging it out of the corner, but it's taken away by John Hamel. Hamel was checked. Paul Woods follows up. Cleared it out to center ice. Henderson shot it back in. Hamel goes into the corner again. Clement was in too quickly. It's offside, and the play comes back out center ice.
Now, there's a look at that mask. I've never seen a hockey player wear a mask with that many bars on it. I don't know how he can see the puck to handle it at all. And, you know, he has 2 assists tonight, too, playing probably this is, I would think, his first game in the National League after spending so many years, well, both with Detroit and Toronto.
Face-off will remain at center ice as the puck ended up in the crowd. Detroit have Woods at center. Hicks on the left side, Polonich on the right wing. Hamel and Larson back along the Detroit defense. Puck went off Hamel, shin back into the Detroit end, and John quickly back to Vachon to retrieve it. A long pass coming up just too far for Polonich. There'll be an icing call. Back after it, Radicalio. And the play coming back into the Detroit end. Toronto Maple Leafs have come back with 3 goals.
They have taken the lead, 4-3 over Edmonton. McKechnie from Ellis, Butler from Williams, and Saganit from Anderson and Boschman. And this is early in the 3rd period. Toronto 4, Edmonton 3.
Sid, that last goal was deflected in by Pronovo.
I thought possibly he had touched it in front of the net. Nilsson's shot from the blue line appeared as though Pronovo come across just at the outside of the crease and possibly got a piece of it. No doubt he did now because they've changed the goal and given it to Pronovo.
So it's Pronovo from Reinhardt and Nilsson. So Henderson loses an assist. 6:02 is the time of the power play goal. The last 2 Detroit penalties have proved very costly as Atlanta has capitalized late in the 2nd period on the penalty to Foligno with a goal scored by Boldarev, and then with Miller in the penalty box, Pronovo tipping in the shot by Nilsson from the blue line. We have 8 minutes, 55 seconds still to play here in period number 3. Dale McCourt now with Nedomansky and LeBratton. Gary Unger sweeps it in behind the Detroit net. Over on the right side, Huber to Nedomansky. He lost it. It's kept in from the line by Brad Marsh, and then he shot it up into the crowd, so they'll bring it out over the Detroit blue line. We've had 8 penalties in the hockey game, 4 aside. So the teams have had equal power play opportunities, but Atlanta has scored on 2 of theirs. Red Wings had a pretty good power play record coming into the hockey game. They had 67 advantages and had scored on 14 of them. Went 3 for 3 against the Islanders, their last game Saturday night. Here now Gary Unger back into the Detroit zone. That shot by Houston deflected up into the crowd. And we come right back out center ice for the faceoff. No, we're not. We're going to stay in the rim of the circle in the Detroit end. Shot was deflected up by a Red Wing stick. Should again give a great big hello and best wishes to a fellow who worked alongside Lefty Wilson and Ole Olsevich for so very long, Tommy Lynch, recuperating in Windsor Hospital from a mild stroke. That shot fired from the blue line by Marsh, knocked away by Vachon. Here now Nedomansky carrying back into the Atlanta zone, took the shot. Bouchard the save. It came right out in front, but Unger's the only man there. Marsh again. Marsh clearing it too far for Kent Nilsson. Nedomansky has it. Now his pass off to Dale McCourt. McCourt's pass broken up by Nilsson. This is Brad Marsh again, handing it off to Bob Murdoch, and back it comes to Marsh. Time becoming a factor. 8 minutes to play in the game as Nilsson moves out with Unger. Nilsson over the line. Here's Nilsson with a shot, and Vachon had to move sharply with that as Nilsson was allowed to wander around out in front of that Detroit goal. Got a good shot away. In behind his own net, Greg Jolly. Now Jolly, left side pass, too far for LeBratton. Slides all the way down the ice. They wave off a icing. Murdoch being chased by LeBratton. Got there first. Clears it ahead to Boldarev. Ivan Boldarev checked by Foligno, but LeBratton's pass was intercepted, and Marsh dumped it back to the Detroit blue line. Boldarev picked it up, took it back in offside. Play comes out over the Detroit blue line. The Red Wing Forum Club is sponsoring a fun-filled 2-day trip to Toronto, Ontario for the Wings Maple Leafs game December 22nd. The price of the trip includes round-trip bus transportation, a night of lodging, a ticket to the game, refreshments on the bus. So for more information about this terrific opportunity, you can call either the 2 numbers, 292-8097 or 381-4165. Here now is Errol Thompson. Thompson sweeping it in behind the goal, off to the side of the net. Foligno goes to the corner with it. Mike Foligno trying to work away from Reinhardt. It comes loose. Coming down is McMillan. McMillan with a shot, and Barry Long deflected that away. Errol Thompson. Thompson ran into the referee, picking it up, though, is Reed Larson. Larson over the line, trying to work around Phil Russell. Flipped the backhander wide, and it's taken off the boards by Vail. Vail was turned around, slowed up by Peter Mahavlich, who broke his stick. Barry Long. Long worked it ahead. Mahavlich just picked up a stick from the Detroit bench, played it, and it goes into the Atlanta zone. Russell out on the left wing for Vail. It comes out center ice. Bolderev giving chase, tipped it over on the right wing. McMillan takes it into the Detroit end. McMillan's pass will be kept in at the blue line. Knocked down, though, by Barry Long. He clears it ahead to Peter Mahavlich, and he played it behind Errol Thompson, who wasn't looking for it. Here's Reinhardt right back in. Reinhardt trying to go through. Willie Huber steered it to the corner. Eric Vail dug it out. His pass deflected to the opposite corner. We have 6 minutes to play in the game. It is 4-1 Atlanta. Red Wings led it 1-0 into the first period when they controlled the play. Now here's Mike Foligno giving chase. He lost it off the end of the stick, and it's cleared out on the left wing. Willie Huber ran into Bill Clement. Puck goes all the way back into the Detroit zone with Jolly back after it. Out it comes to Huber. Now Paul Woods. Woods with Polonich and Hicks. Woods drilled that shot, fired it wide. It hit the back of the net. Going right after it is Hicks. Hicks tried to center, was knocked away, came back to him. Still digging after it. Ken Houston's pass broken up by Polonich. Polonich to Woods, and it deflected right to the goaltender Bouchard, and that's the way things have been going.
Well, Paul Woods on this play. Paul Woods should have stopped the puck. Polonich spots him all by himself out in front of the net, and Paul just deflected the puck, really, instead of handling the puck and then seeing what he could do with Mr. Bouchard. But Bouchard just held his ground, and the deflection bounced into him.
Wings have outshot Atlanta 27-20 at this stage of the game. There's a shot by Hicks that goes wide. Darcy Rhoda bumped along the boards by Willie Huber. Paul Woods checking in behind the goal. Glenn Hicks went in with an elbow high. Houston dumped it back out center ice. Polonich played it back to his own blue line. Willie Huber has it there. Took a whack at it, sent it back into the Atlanta end. Going back after it. Otacalio in behind his own goal, coming out with it now. Otacalio winds up for a long shot wide of the Detroit goal. Paul Woods is hauled to the ice by Houston. Puck goes in behind the Detroit net. They battle back there after it. And finally, it's Willie Huber coming out with it in time, 4:44 to go. That's Hicks taking it over the line, trying to work away from Shand. He's pulled to the ice. Here is Dennis Polonich, and he couldn't get loose. Houston starts back for Atlanta. Now Ken Houston into the Detroit zone, and the play went in offside, and McCourt and Rhoda took a little whack at each other. So with the score 4-1 Atlanta, we'll be back in a moment. The year, but Atlanta has scored 4 goals, the last 2 on power play. Now this is Reed Larson clearing it into the corner. Barry Long tipped it ahead, but not out. Back on the line, Bob Murdoch's shot blocked by McCourt. And Vachon out of the goal, tipped it away. Vail picked it up, hit the side of the net with it. Now LeBratton. LeBratton's pass to McCourt. It bounced off of him, and Bolderev swings it in behind the Detroit net again, and Larson goes in after it. Now Larson ahead to Dale McCourt. LeBratton on the left side. The pass got away from LeBratton. LeBratton bumped Murdoch, but the play goes deep in the Atlanta zone, and McMillan will bring it out. Bob McMillan sending it ahead to Bolderev. He's got Vail on the left wing, McMillan on the right side. That's McMillan. He shot it wide of the Detroit net, and McCourt takes it off the board. A long pass to LeBratton. Here's Danny LeBratton over the line. LeBratton handing it to Nedemansky, and with Nedemansky wide open, it bounced over his stick. And the Flames clear it back out center ice. McMillan giving chase to it. He was turned around by Long, and Dale McCourt hands it back to Nedemansky. Big Ned, he's got Larson on the right side. He's whistled that shot, and Bouchard stopped it, cleared it to the line, and it's brought back in offside by Mahavlich, who had just come off the Detroit bench.
And time is running out. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, and you're down 3. It doesn't look too favorable, but the Wings have had several opportunities to score goals here in this period. Early in the period, Nedemansky missed on a real good opportunity. Peter Mahavlich missed, and if they could have got an early goal, they could have maybe made a run at this game.
The Wings in this period, according to the unofficial board here, have outshot Atlanta 7-4. Now it's Willie Huber back at his own blue line to Greg Jolly. Jolly's pass knocked away by Pronovo and picked up by Phil Russell. Russell lifts it off the glass back into the Detroit zone. Huber overskated it a bit, and it's driven into the corner. Paul Henderson went in. Greg Jolly covered up on him, and now Errol Thompson had a high pass knocked down by Mahovlich, who brought it out center ice, and Henderson moved in, took it away, and shoots it in behind the Detroit goal, and Jolly goes after it. Now Mahovlich starts out again. Peter Mahovlich playing it now to Huber. Ahead it comes to Errol Thompson. Thompson played it into the Atlanta zone. It's cleared back out by Phil Russell. Reinhardt dumping it into the corner, and Jolly will move in behind his own net. Trailing by 3. There are only 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game now. And the Wings are going to have to pull off a minor miracle. Here's Peter Mahovlich. He tipped it into the corner. Ken Houston, or rather Shand and he go in together. Mahovlich knocked Shand to the ice, but the Flames control it. Mahovlich lost his stick. Shand took a little whack at him as he was picking it up. Pronovo dumping it off to the side of the Detroit goal. Willie Huber goes after it. Now Huber starting out. A long pass to Mike Foligno. Foligno takes it into the Atlanta zone. Fell down as he moved across the line. Bill Clement brings it right back now for Atlanta. Clement trying to work away from Woods. Carries into the Detroit zone. In behind the Red Wing goal, Barry Long. Long swinging it out on the right side for Willie Huber. It goes back of the net again. Long tries the left side for Hicks, and he's checked. We have a minute and a half to play in the game, and it's all Atlanta right now with their 3-goal lead. That's Darcy Rhoda. He fell down, and moving out is Paul Woods. Woods over on the left side to Hicks. The play went in onside. Here's Hicks trying to get loose. Couldn't do it. Rodicalio brings it back into the Detroit zone. His pass to Rhoda, and it was Barry Long that came back and stopped that. Wings clear it out center ice. Rodicalio has it there with a minute to go in the third period. Bolderev at his own blue line. 4-1 Atlanta. Now Eric Vale over on the right side with the play broken up by Dan LeBratton. LeBratton to Larson. Here's Woods. Woods bumped off the puck. Larson picks it up. Couldn't go in. 2 of the Wings were in ahead of the play. Eric Vale. Jolly is back. Puck came back to McMillan. And it was Polonich that tipped that into the corner. Here's a chance for Rodicalio. His centering pass broken up. Polonich heads back. On the left side, Danny LeBratton giving chase to it with Murdoch. Play went in behind the goal. And it's Eric Vale picking it up with 20 seconds to go in the period and in the hockey game. Greg Jolly. Jolly turning away from Vale's check. 15 seconds to go, and this game is over. Now Jolly is passed to Polonich. Polonich moved in, took the shot. Bouchard knocked that away. Cleared it off to the side. Bolderev has it. That's Pronovo with a couple of seconds to go. Over on the right wing to Bolderev. He's checked as the buzzer goes to end the third period and the hockey game. So here's the third period scoring summary brought to you by Magnavox and Fredder Appliance Stores. With Atlanta leading 3-1, only 1 goal scored in the third period. Barry Miller was in the penalty box for tripping at .427, and Pronovo tipped in a shot from the blue line fired by Kent Nilsson at 6:02 with Reinhardt also drawing an assist. Pronovo getting the period's only goal. Rhoda picked up a tripping penalty at 7:05, but Detroit could